Hey, welcome back. We've done
Hiya.
it. We finished Act 1. Hi. We finished Act 1, and that means, of course, we are now halfway through the game. Exactly 50%. Just draw a line in the middle of the game, and that's where we're at. Yep.
We've got all the tools, we've got all our party, everything's ready. We're just gonna beeline right through.
Yep. And just not pay attention to the dozen or so people who, when we finished the last game, said that if we tried to marathon the end of this one, we would actually die.
It's okay. I think we're dead inside at this point anyway.
No, I could be deader.
Yeah, me too.
Let's get started. Space!
Yeah, didn't expect this.
I mean, I guess that keeps those pesky commoners away. Oh.
Does make sense.
Sherwin was right. This is pretty good. Of course it's this room.
Look, we only have so many rooms modeled.
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close. It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance. Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Rean Schwarzer. Truth be told, we don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
Dude.
We
Come on.
only acted as we did due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye. He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property.
And that's why we invaded the capital with giant robots.
Surely you too noticed this.
Well, I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were, about the way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
That's me, I'm one of them.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
I just want to touch your hands.
So has there
I'm afraid
ever
that
been
yes, you
a
are.
good time in history to use the phrase, the good old days of the Empire?
Depends on perspective and how long ago those good old days were.
Saying not a lot of huge empires of positive renown that I can think of.
They tend to get pretty messy.
Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done? You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Gorelia Fortress.
We think.
After all that, the Imperial army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
My word, I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. They certainly haven't been imprisoned.
That's why we shot your dad.
But that does bring me to exactly why I want you to help us.
Lovingly.
Does?
We need a PR guy.
The Azure Knight is already on our side. But if we had your Ashen Knight as well, that would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play. Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial Army's armored divisions would cower before us. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on until our inevitable victory,
I don't think it's that simple.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by his boa that's just clipping right through his whole arm.
The boa is a very distinct touch that makes Duke Cayenne so much more of a fop than every other noble.
I feel like the three lovingly placed feathers on the other shoulder help that quite a bit.
I beg to differ. The presence of Soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for in mobility and versatility. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact they have on our opponents.
Well,
Yep, that's psychology right there.
We're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine knights of legend you and Crow possess.
So we're in for giant Misty, is what I'm getting out of this.
Not opposed.
Can't argue with that logic.
Crow seems like he just wants to be anywhere but here.
I will say it once more. Gileath Osborne is dead.
100% super dead.
All that's left to be done is
Couldn't
end
be
this
deader.
ridiculous war and return order to the Empire.
And I'm starting
Only
to come
then
around on your theory.
Everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Are you trying to?
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed. I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
But of course, I'm not a monster.
Rufus.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors. And in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you.
What does that mean?
I think
After
he's
all,
saying that as your
every
principal
soldier must
eye,
decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
And just
For now.
I would like a decision to pop up that just is just like no or hell no. Oh man, it's Rean. we're arresting Rean right now. Hell yeah.
guest room.
Yes.
We don't even have a brig on the Pantagruel. We turned it into 2 luxury skyboxes.
We will put a curtain over the bars on your guest room. Oh yeah, that does sound like a Monday.
Monday the 13th.
Man, that's big.
These airships are just the Okay. We hold Beauty and the Beast balls on this bitch, Master Rean.
We Never mind. Something Titanic.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire.
I remember I was there.
Only then will everything be as it should. That
Yeah, that was
includes both your
6 hours
pleasant
ago,
academy
tops.
life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Okay, that wasn't said.
I suggest you consider
That-
carefully the choice before you.
All of this was said 1 minute
After
ago.
all,
Okay, I missed the
Every soldier
Elise
must
line.
decide for himself whether a cause is worth
That's the
fighting.
only one of those I don't
Perhaps
remember.
even
Maybe
die.
I've just started blocking out Elise's existence.
You may have been talking over it.
I look forward to hearing
Also
your
possible.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far. But the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. Am I really okay with that? If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims, be friends with Crow again, free Elise and Princess Elfin.
Marry Crow
Oh, this isn't that simple.
and Elise.
Think, Rean, think. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Alpin are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
Hello, young man. Are you finally going to get a nameplate? Or did he get one in the prologue?
He did earlier.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it. And what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn business? And don't you have better things to do with your time?
Not really.
I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular.
Look, I brought brewskis, okay?
If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now. So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow.
Ooh, metaphor.
Besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Brewskis, I already said.
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
Thank God they still have filet of fish up here.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh?
Those are not hamburgers.
What are those onion rings?
They do look more like pretzels.
Some real onion goatsy energy.
What's up with the absinthe, Crow? This is a hell of a meal.
Once you're a Divine Awakener long enough, you can't process anything. It's the curse of, night.
I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No, this is fine. The burger looks delicious.
I think.
Cool. All right, dig in.
White Castle ass square patties.
This tastes kinda different from a normal burger. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers.
Oh,
Pretty
we're
good,
just
right?
leaning into that. Okay.
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring too.
That does explain why there's lemon there.
This tastes amazing. I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though. But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Dry, where I grew up.
Oh,
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened there.
yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the Northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
I like that the low resolution on this screenshot Makes it look like he's just like jutting his jaw out, like angrily. Like, yeah, they stitch it on nice and neat. Mm-hmm.
He does have one of those tiny face panels from Mashal effects going on.
So you ended up going back to your old hometown then?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again. But it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front? What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life?
Oh, you met him.
Tell me, Crow, please. I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. What kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
And maybe, like,
Where's the
other
fun in
people.
prying into a guy's past?
Mostly those three, though.
Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee? And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know,
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know.
No, I want to hear. What was that going to be?
Think of telling me your past as
Obviously.
paying off the interest you owe in that 50 mira.
Obviously, he's just gonna say she's too young, and nothing else.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No dark backstory that he was about to spill.
Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
you're really serious.
Crow?
My past really isn't that big of a deal, you know. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you.
So wait, you know more about my past than I do, huh? That's what I'm getting out of that.
So, you really want to know?
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind. Please, tell me.
All right, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened. Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered.
It was back in the
Until
old
about
days when
20
we were all made
years
out of
ago.
sprites.
I like the little kid chasing the stick cat.
That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt.
It was what?
Gnosis, you know.
Sorry. Sorry, go back a little bit, Crow. Rewind.
And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing. Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away.
I don't know, I feel like you could get a pretty good salt trade going.
Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mines. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out Northumbria.
This is actually just Crow in a disguise.
In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor,
Oh,
my grandfather.
so I guess that might be what he looks
He
like
was the
grown up.
last mayor Jirai City ever had. He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor and was well loved by everyone.
Actually, yeah, we never did get one of these backstory things with an unnamed important family member from Crow.
Yeah.
So it's just his grandfather, much like Bacchus's cousin, Elisa's dad. Yeah. No names.
I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative.
He taught me how to hustle.
He taught me just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jurai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council, and as a result, my grandfather was forced to accept.
Why would he have
Within a
been
year, the
against that?
city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever.
Because the railway line is a real easy way for them to send troops and stuff over to maybe take care of some business.
But keep in
I
mind,
suppose you have a
this was
point.
a result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared about making money. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jurai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Jurai.
Perhaps the opposite problem.
Everyone
Yeah.
demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the imperial government. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all imperial capital. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned. That was when he showed up. Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the imperial government, personally came to Jurai. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jurai will come under the wing of our glorious empire and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too. And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident.
Me.
My grandfather.
Okay, that would explain why you'd take up
He
the
loved
terrorist
Jurai more
mantle.
than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jurai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible.
I think we're editorializing now.
They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow.
Anyway, that's why I murdered all of those people.
What happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess. Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by.
Pretty old high schooler.
I was gonna say
That was when I met old
20?
Cayenne,
Yeah.
who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me.
But, lamer.
That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front. Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited.
I still don't really get why I hired Gideon.
I'd also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ortis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One
I guess
after
that
another,
explains
I
the name.
overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone. And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16.
This math seems weird.
Okay, so he was 13 when his grandfather died, which was half a year after he resigned, which was unspecified amount of time since the bombing, which was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so he should be 20 now at the very least.
Yeah.
They're getting weird with numbers.
I'm gonna have to take notes.
My preparations complete, I concealed my background.
Ugh. Jellica, no. Bad touch.
And enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head.
Well, there's where you fucked up. You got his heart.
Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
that's my main personality trait.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff.
Chess
I'd say it's
isn't really
fairly
a
normal for
gamble.
a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
It depends on how you play it.
Maybe.
The gamble is if you get caught.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over. I don't want whatever your
Ooh.
decision is to be influenced by my past.
Brutal.
Okay?
Yeah, I don't know if I put that on the chart.
That has to go on the chart.
All right, that's another 0.5.
Make it like a +1 at the end.
Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for. For you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but Crow,
It's okay. I just said I'm totally gonna die when I'm
Right.
done.
I think I've stuck around here for long enough. You're going to be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of.
Meaning I can run around and talk to everybody?
It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
Yep.
however I want. What else can I even do here?
There's bocce ball on the deck. Clotilde means life. Wait, no, I fucked this up again.
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too, not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan. So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honor's room on the second floor. I think she'd perk right up if she saw you. So why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
Princess Sister.
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honors room.
Princess.
Trying to think of a funnier answer.
Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can.
Actually,
Make my choice after that.
funniest answer would
At
be
least then,
Empress.
It'll be an informed one.
Margarita. Character notebook updated. Where are we at? Bro.
Oh,
Crow has 3 dots.
yeah. All right.
Oh, the meal's gone. I wanted to get a closer look at that.
I also wanted to zoom in on that sucker.
Oh, well. Oh, boy. Here we are. What do we got?
Wow.
It's just a lot of dots.
Yes.
I can sense someone inside.
Is this a boss rush?
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not, because we don't have a party. What's down here? Passageway. Well, let's check this room, I guess. Alright, just whatever.
I can sense
Yeah.
someone inside.
Game over.
Come on in if you like.
That sounds like... Excuse me.
Hi, I'm Scarlet.
Hello there, love.
You might know me as Reverse Asuka.
What if Asuka had, like, happiness?
I'd heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another at some point.
Hello, Scarlet.
Bye, Scarlet.
I'm way more chill than the last 3 times we encountered each other.
Last time we spoke was a month and a half ago near Trista, I think.
Quite a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat.
Hold on, let me get my speech bubble over. Yes, that chair, please.
I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't have to.
Nope, you saw the red exclamation point. Have to be dramatic about it.
Well, I guess there's no harm in chatting for a bit.
Red means you have to drink my tea.
All of us are feeding you to give you a slow, combined poison.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they? Only the best for the airship of Erebonia's most powerful noble, I suppose.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too.
Yeah, but we're like trash nobles.
Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy. We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Relatively. In our palatial estate by the biggest hot springs in the country.
They do have
really?
a pretty tiny mansion compared to a lot we've seen. You couldn't have a dungeon in that house.
Laura's is definitely much larger.
I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and built a railway through it.
What kind of family did you come from then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering. They were just relatively wealthy farmers. We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
Well, bye.
You're wondering how someone like me became a terrorist?
Once I got
It's
the
written
tattoo, it was
all
all
your
over.
face.
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious.
It is a pretty good tattoo. It's got like a rib cage on it.
Yeah.
I heard that you lost your hometown because Osborn built a railway through it.
Yeah, Vulcan just kind of started talking. He does that.
Oh, did
I
C
could hear
tell
him
you?
from across the whole base.
No, I suppose it must have been V. He never was one to keep quiet about things.
So, I mean, what happened?
Some things are best left unsaid, I think.
Oh, cool. Bye.
It's not as if knowing would somehow allow you to change things.
I suppose.
Is this entire chapter just 8 sob stories in a row?
I think so.
You're so adorable,
Fuck.
Rean. Now I know why C took a liking to you. What do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys? It'll be fun. I
Those are
promise.
some big girls.
Please
It's
stop
more
teasing
tasteful
me.
than I would have come up with,
Anyway, thank you for the tea.
which is an unusual reversal.
It wasn't just made with high quality leaves, it was brewed exceptionally too.
You're very
We farmers know how to. No! What is your backstory?
Actually, I may as well ask while I have the chance. Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway? It's pretty unique.
welcome. Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. The holy city of Arteria.
Yeah, the nun main character in Sky the Third also had one of those weird swords.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
They decided I was too sexy.
Surely you must be talking about some other church, right? You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons like that?
There are more things in this world you don't know than you could possibly imagine. Well, it doesn't matter much now. I ended up returning to Erebonia before my training was complete.
Can Sister Lisa use one? Oh crap.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling you for now. I'll give you
Oh,
the full
no.
story if you decide to join us. Sound fair?
It'll cost a bonding point.
And if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own charms, I suppose.
Nope. Nope, that means she's telling us on a deathbed.
She
It'll
ended up
cost
being a lot
a
friendlier than I expected
burying
her to be.
point?
Ooh.
I wonder how much of what she was saying about being a sister was true.
I would assume all of it.
Yeah, why? That's a weird thing to make up.
She seemed to really hate the Chancellor. I wonder what she intends to do now that he's gone.
Maybe
Totally,
that's why she's
definitely
so
gone.
friendly.
Totally, definitely gone forever. Ah. We'll save you for later.
Oh, yes. So this is going to be V.
Yeah. Let's take another look. Oh, there's a dot over here. Yes. All right. You. Albert. Good day, Master Rean. The joke is it's just Sharon in disguise.
It's better Sharon voice than I can do yet.
You do have like a much deeper voice in general than I do. I've got the whole nasally thing going.
Mostly what I've learned trying to do vocal training is that I can't get fem down consistently, but I have learned 7 new ways to get kicked out of a wedding with bad impressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get that Donald Duck voice someday. What is going on here?
I don't know. Maybe that's the thing that turned everyone to Salt and Jirai?
right next to the Disney castle.
I just don't know why that would be painted right there. Oh, hey, pilot.
This should be the guest of honor's room. Sounds like whoever's in there is busy. Might be better to swing by later.
Oh, okay.
Princess Alphen practicing her maid play. Alright.
I can sense someone inside. And judging by the fact that S is in the next room.
Ooh. We walk away.
You can say, I'm definitely curious how much this all interplays with each other.
It's open. Come on in.
Excuse me.
You ever had a beer before, Rean?
Oh, it's you. You finished talking with C?
His name's Crow, not C. And he's never going to be anything else for me.
What?
Oh, I know his real name. But to us, he's always gonna be C.
Charles.
That's our leader. He might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him.
Well, I look down to him because I'm, like, huge.
Why do you think Crow always had
Anyway,
those boots
take
that
a
make
seat.
you 1 pixel taller?
Got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer them?
Depends on the questions.
Just out of curiosity, how many members does the Imperial Liberation Front have left?
You know, now that your best friend Gideon got, like, horribly murdered.
I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, 10, give or take. We lost most of our members as soon as the war started kicking into gear.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh. Is that because the group's primary objective had been fulfilled?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so they left.
Yeah, that sounded way worse.
Yeah.
We all came from different backgrounds, but the one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any reason for sticking around. Can't say I blame them for calling it quits.
They all went back to school.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his game. Are the members who haven't left sticking around for similar reasons?
Interesting question. Can't speak for the others, but me? I don't really care how this war goes. I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived for war. And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain. If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see.
Have you considered drums?
I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista. But I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
I don't know that I was really asking for you.
You're a funny kid. Being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused, don't you think?
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on longer than it has to. It's not as though you guys want war, do you?
That's enough of the niceties. You've got time to worry about us. Use it to worry about yourself. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against them, you've got a tough road ahead, whether you like it or not. Make sure to think long and hard before you decide. And if we end up as enemies again, show me what you got. On the battlefield, I mean.
So
Excuse
wait.
me.
I really have to go.
That sigil on their arm is the Imperial Liberation Front's logo.
Sure, probably.
Yeah, the text was under it right here. So he's got it as an armband. Crow, I think it was part of the armor. Why did Scarlet get it tattooed on herself?
Because she's the sexy one? Tattoos are sexy.
That feels like a thing that will make it very hard to hide.
I mean, all she it's her, like way up on the upper arm, so all she really has to do is wear a shirt.
I guess.
I know she's allergic, but she can find one.
Now I'm imagining her walking around in a serape because it's the only thing that will go over
Think I
her
might have
arm
been too
and
harsh on
those
the kid.
pontoons.
Still,
Just all maternity dresses for her from now on.
yeah. He's probably perfect for the job.
Yeah, Vulcan, you're boring. I'm sorry.
He saw right through me. He's not wrong, though. I should be worrying about myself right now. He seemed kind of different, though. Like he'd lost his spark. His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborn. Maybe he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he's done just that?
I know this next generation Jaeger you could train.
Meh, she's good. Okay,
Just
we got
imagine
4 doors. Sorry, go ahead.
V with a minigun is a really good mental image, though.
Yeah, it's not bad. They kind of already did that with Tita, though.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, need to pick a door.
I'm gonna say forward and to the left.
Okay. Back corner. Got it.
Yep.
Huh? I think I can sense someone inside. Given the circumstances, I imagine it must be one of the people who fought us in Ymir. Huh? It's open.
You could have knocked. Okay.
Rean, kind of a dick.
Oh my god, it's the real Rufus.
It's empty. Weird. I could have sworn I sensed someone in here.
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh.
well, I better just walk over and stare at her.
I guess we're gonna find out if Sammy can operate independently of her or not.
Looking at her lying down like this, she really is just a child. Maybe 12 or 13? Somewhere close to Milliam's age. How did a
Maybe
kid
exactly
like this
the
end up
same.
fighting with the Alliance?
Maybe down to the second.
Who are you? Who's calling me?
Is she talking in her sleep?
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest area of the Pantagruel. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
Guess she's sleeping comfortably enough here. Then again, she needs it at her age. She's got plenty of
Are
growing
you
left.
sure about that, Rean?
Rean, this is a weird read on this situation.
Wait.
Huh?
Good morning?
Rean Schwarzer, why are you here? Unless my memories have been tampered with, I believe this room was solely allocated to me.
This bed is for my robot.
Oh, it was.
Hi, I'm a
Sorry.
creep.
If I'd known you were sleeping, I wouldn't have come in here.
So you're an intruder then. Clown Soleus.
Scare.
No, it was just an innocent mistake.
Yo!
No, can we at least talk about this?
No mercy for trespassers.
Game over.
So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room.
My
Not
dude got his
claim.
ass whooped
I
by
really
a
didn't.
USB charger.
But once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
No, I didn't. How many times do I have to explain what happened before you'll believe me?
You could just fucking
I
leave
was
the
making
room.
a joke.
What?
Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you. That he didn't proves your innocence.
You're cool, bro.
Oh, right. Then what was all that for?
It was funny.
Whatever. I suppose it's my own fault for coming in without permission.
Yes.
Anyway, I've cleared my name. I'll see you some other time, probably.
If
Wait.
that's what you want to do,
I would like to tell you my life story first.
you didn't come to ask me anything then?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know you were in here. I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though, and just as much I'd like to say to you. Okay, if you're offering, what are your reasons for helping the Alliance?
What was silence as an assent?
Why do you have a puppet just like Milliam's?
I may as well just ask, I guess. She doesn't have to answer.
Just who are you?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so. As all information regarding Clown Soleus is confidential, I am unable to answer your second question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
Oh, forget it. You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not doesn't change that. And it's not something I think I can forgive. See you around.
We got like at least 2.5 more games to figure this out.
Sorry, that was probably too harsh. I can't pretend to know anything about your circumstances, but I do know that you didn't abduct them of your own free will. Anyway, with that said, I'll be going. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk again sometime.
The Black Workshop.
What?
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the Noble Alliance. Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most I'm able to disclose to you.
The name doesn't ring any bells. And loaned? That makes it sound like... I suppose it's none of my business.
No.
Dope! God! Fuck!
Thanks for telling me.
You just can't hold it in, can you, boy?
I'll be sure to remember that name.
I can't see
Another
doing
tally.
so holding any real purpose for you. Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just did?
No, I did not. The Black Workshop? Loaned?
It pans over and Bleublanc is there like, would you pat my head?
Sounds like stuff worth remembering.
Okay, that is stuff worth remembering. I'm gonna do this one because it's weird that the dot's further in. And I'm curious why.
Yeah, let's check that.
Ah. Duvalie just being an exception as usual.
Having to travel to and from Crossbell like this is utterly exhausting. No, I mustn't complain. I'm doing this for the sake of my lord.
Didn't I see her in Legram?
Who goes there? Wait, you're the Ashen Knight's pilot.
I remember you now.
I beat you up real good.
You're with
Yeah.
Ouroboros. Duvalie the Swift, right?
You're my AP fountain.
You know shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to barge into a lady's room unannounced?
Apparently.
Yes.
You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear. Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in, though. Sorry about that.
I mean, that is typically what is called barging in.
Did she just dress in front of us?
So,
The dress
now that
spheres.
we're understood, what do you want? Have you come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side after all?
Can you not jump to conclusions? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with what they're doing.
Oh, naturally. Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own, but for my part, I have no obligation to help the Alliance whatsoever. I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary to the plan.
Plan?
I'm not sure what she's getting at. Just so we're clear, that lord you keep mentioning isn't Vita Clotilde, is it?
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the 7th, not the 2nd. She is the leader of the Stahlritter, the great light which guides us. Gallant yet beautiful, proud yet merciful. She's the strongest knight of all. And oh, she's simply divine.
Are you sure you didn't grow up in Legram?
This
Well,
is
you've made
incredibly
it clear how great you
extra.
think she is. So the head of the Stahlritter is also a woman?
She certainly is. And if you must know,
She's all woman.
100 swordsmen of your strength couldn't hope to equal her. No, 1,000, even 10,000 of you wouldn't be able to so much as scratch her.
I think 10,000 could probably scratch her.
Also, what about my
Okay,
robot?
I get it. She's strong.
The robot is like 800 swordsmen.
Okay.
Still, if she's a woman who could be described as the strongest knight of all, Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and Stahlritter, but she really does sound like Saint Sandlot.
I see I've got you thinking. Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my lord's glory too many times.
I would love to know what
She's
the
known
direction for this
as the
voice actress
Steel
was.
Maiden.
I think they just let her go.
The Steel Maiden, huh?
And with that, I believe that's enough idle chatter. If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side, then we remain enemies. As such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly with one another.
No, that's the whole intermission.
Yeah,
really.
I suppose you're right. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to ask. You're not an enforcer like Bleublanc or Sharon, right? Is there any reason for that?
Ugh, you just had to ask. Enforcers are selected by the society's leader, the Grandmaster. And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of darkness.
And there was this incident on the Grandmaster's porch with a paper bag filled with dog poop. It was on fire, and they claim it was me. And
But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, all right? I'm quite strong.
I didn't say you weren't. But it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me as someone who's carrying any kind of darkness with you. You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from the path of righteousness.
I'm bad. I'm so bad.
I'll thank you not to spout such nauseating drivel in my presence. Now get the hell out of my room!
That really should have been the first thing she said.
Yeah, that should be the first thing every one of
chased
them
me out.
says.
I'm really curious about the Steel Maiden. Could she really have some connection with the Lance Maiden?
No.
Turns out we Frankensteined
Perhaps even
her.
with the woman who helped us during our August field study.
Okay, left or right?
Left.
Left.
So one of these is
I can sense
McBurn.
someone
Who's the
inside.
other?
Probably the two Jaegers.
Oh, could be. Okay, maybe McBurn's not here. Yeah.
No, he's here.
What the?
Yup, that's... yeah.
Yeah, let's go in. Sure. Nothing wrong here. I suspect they're just sharing a room because they're bros.
That makes sense.
Oh, it's you. Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that? It's
God,
gone now,
everything
anyway.
about this dude's
Maybe it was
fashion
just my
sense is...
imagination.
Yeah.
It's a lot. There's things going there.
So what's up?
I don't agree with like any of the choices really, but they're bold.
It's not a look I could pull off, but I love it.
I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance or not, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't come here for any specific reason.
There was just a dot on the door. I don't know.
Interesting. You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you for a while?
What a pain in the ass. So, what do you wanna ask?
Just like a whole couch by himself.
When we ran into each other back near Berea-Hard,
McBurn is the best.
It took like a full minute to get his jacket to do that.
No, I think he just that's how it flops out.
Something about being mixed?
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that meant at the time. But what did you mean?
Don't know if I can even explain that one. It's just something you feel. What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature. It's kind of hard to put into words.
So I won't.
Seems that way. I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap my head around what you're saying.
Just watch.
Huh?
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic. And I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just a totally unnatural ability?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Something that just gives you results, without the processes you'd usually have to go through to obtain them. You've got one too, right?
No?
Well, true. That power of mine wasn't something I gained from training. I don't even know where the power itself is coming from.
Okay, theory.
Mm-hmm.
There's 7 people like this. Each one gets a different sepith.
Okay.
So, McBurn is obviously fire. What would Rean's be? His hair turns white, so maybe Mirage?
I'm gonna say higher elements, definitely.
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them. Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the church's stigmas.
Which is another magic system. We won't get into this now.
Looks like a pretty small part
I know
of
a little
it in
of
your
that
case, though.
Oh.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you how, where, or why whatever it is got mixed into you. Sure, you've got more questions, but sorry, I can't answer them.
No, it's okay. You've answered enough already. I feel like I understand myself a little better now, actually.
Good for
I
you,
don't
guess.
give a shit.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
So, we done now?
Yeah, thanks for your time.
I'm gonna keep turning all these liquor bottles
Oh, yeah.
into Molotovs and throwing them out the side.
So how much of you is unnatural?
Excuse me?
Me?
I'm asking if you're packing.
All of me.
His circumstances seem very different from mine.
Weirdly sexual.
Guess all I can do is remember what he said. Maybe there will come a time when it'll all make sense. I'm sure one day I'll find out what this power of mine is. What the story behind me being given this power as a kid is. One day.
I don't know if there is any character I'm gonna love more in this series than McBurn.
McBurn seems pretty good.
All of me.
I'm unnatural, baby.
Who's in here?
I'm like the human equivalent of margarine.
We got a visitor?
Come on
Oh,
in.
yep, you're right.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's Jaeger time.
Yeah.
Figured it was you. Sup?
Have a seat. Bourbon? I suppose not.
That is not bourbon.
No, it has one of the standard whiskey orbs in it.
That is one of the slime monsters.
Yeah, I really shouldn't. How come you guys are being so friendly, though? I mean, we're on opposing sides and all.
I mean, it's not like I've just had like 6 friendly chats.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield right now. We're Jaegers. Nothing unusual about us trying to cut some throats one day that's sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course, if you would rather fight with us, that can be arranged.
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance of taking you two down.
Hey now, no need to be so pessimistic. Fee seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little more faith in yourself.
At the very least, you'd be able to give us a real fight in your divine night. Not that I'd have any intention of losing even then.
The scary thing is, I'm pretty sure he's dead serious. Well, they're used to taking out tanks. They probably have their ways.
Yes, bombs.
Can I learn
Oh, wow, I
anti-material
did.
techniques?
Just
Oh,
totally
yeah?
stole his chair.
Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big shot students ain't half bad.
Huh, is that what I got after
I don't remember.
the midterms? Did we just get a save carryover?
Let me see.
Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her
well,
heart into her education.
We'll look it up later.
And
Yeah,
don't
I'm
forget,
just going to do one
she
quick
was
search,
the
and if I find
youngest
nothing,
of
I
her
don't care enough.
classmates, too.
Oh no, this is Fee's ranking.
The boss
Gotcha,
was
gotcha.
right when he said
Right,
that
we
she
were in
can
like the
do
top 10
anything
because
she puts her mind to.
Yeah, I thought we were around 30, because I know we were Elliot tier.
no, we were higher because like all of that studying.
You got that right.
Right.
Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more ladylike, too. Oh, who am I kidding?
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on that front if she so pleases.
I have seen what she looks like by the end of this series, and no.
They really seem to adore her, like two proud parents talking about their child. And yet... If you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Fee behind? After your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean.
Because her father figure just got like murdered right in front of her.
Oh, Fee told you about that. It sounds like you're closer to her than I thought you were.
I trust this is simply me being paranoid. But you haven't tried making any moves on her, have you?
No, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
What?
I just want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means so much to the two of you.
They wanted her to have a normal life.
Thought of
Fuck.
you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well, we had our reasons. Let's leave it at that.
Ah.
I know you want to know, but you're not the one we should be telling that to.
We'll be sure to tell Fee our reasons in due time.
In the final chapter.
Until then, leave the issue be.
You know you're going to have a boss fight with every one of us again, so just get ready for that.
All right. I can accept that. Still, she's our classmate. And in that sense, she's like family to me, to us, too. And we feel that way about her just as strongly as you do, if not more so. I want to be perfectly clear on that.
Fighting words right there.
Still, we'll remember you said that.
Leonidas will remember this.
Returning to the matter at hand, you're sure you haven't tried to make any moves on her?
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two overprotective fathers. I was hoping to get a bit more out of them about what Zephyr is up to. All we did was talk about Fee the whole time.
Maybe you should have asked about that.
Oh well. At least now I know that the guys in Zephyr really cared about her, so it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Okay, it's that time.
Let's do it.
I couldn't even.
To you, Rean Schwarzer.
Couldn't even hit the button. He just he started it on his own. Hello, man in white.
You're the Phantom Thief!
What? He only just took off his mask. For God's sake, Rean.
Look, Rean can't tell who Charazdable is in the
What are you doing
sunglasses. How's he going to recognize Bleublanc?
I guess. Like, it's not even a different outfit.
No, it's literally the same thing.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm as much a guest on this ship as you are. And who would deny themselves the pleasure of a ship so beautiful?
I guess it's just a giant block of ice. That's like 2/3 of the cup.
The furnishings are immaculate. The
I'm
food
convinced
and
it's some
wine are
kind of
positively
weird whiskey
sumptuous.
ornament. Because it's funnier.
Perhaps it is a freeze ornament that provides chill for your drinks.
And I am of the firm belief that it's wasteful not to take advantage of the opportunities life presents you. Ah, and speaking of opportunities, don't just stand there. Take a seat and join me in having a drink. You've been blessed with the rare chance to sit and chat one-on-one with the most beloved thief of our time.
If you do that, I'll tell you where I just hid your sword.
I can't believe that's how you describe yourself. Well, what the hell? I'll have a drink. Nothing alcoholic, though.
No promises.
Funny. I didn't realize you'd met Prince Olivert.
Ha! Indeed. There are few even among royals whose palate is so refined as his.
Sexually.
Between our shared love of beauty and fundamental difference of opinion on the nature of love, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry for him. What happened down in Liberl sounds pretty amazing, though.
I should go play that game.
I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Erebonia at the time, but I had no idea that was why.
Ha ha! That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me tell you.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sick.
How I wish I could have shown it to you.
It was pretty sick.
It would have changed your view of the world completely.
It really does sound amazing.
I should go play that game.
All right.
Why am I sitting here having a friendly discussion with a wanted criminal? He has so many interesting and unusual stories, I got completely caught up listening to them.
Ha ha! A thief of my caliber can steal much more than objects, Rean. There. I was able to steal much of your time and your interest.
Shut up.
Perhaps I stole your heart as well?
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting, though, I'll admit. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where Prince Olivert is now, would you? Last I checked, he wasn't actively fighting against the Alliance.
Ha ha! I imagine Duke Cayenne would welcome a man like the Prince with open arms into the Alliance, if he so wished to join. To my knowledge, he was always wary of the Chancellor himself. But I digress. I'm afraid not even I know where he is at the moment. However, I'm inclined to believe that wherever he's hiding, the Crimson Wings is there with him.
So the Courageous is missing too, then. Although the Duke's got some nerve if he expects Prince Olivert to side with him after he imprisoned the rest of the Imperial family.
Oh, he hates those children.
But think, these kinds of things are simply what the great nobles of this country have always done. The War of the Lions, too, was brought about by numerous families of some standing backing potential successors to the throne. Emperor Dreichel's, as a late arrival to the war, was a mere exception to the rule. I wonder, does Prince Olivert think himself as the second coming of Dreichel's?
Probably not. Maybe, I
Okay. So,
one of which is to bring the winds of change to Thor's
if
military
your
academy.
theory is right,
A gust of fresh air.
you know who else might also show up in the end of this war?
I'm kind of zoning out on this conversation, so just go ahead and say it.
If Osborn's gonna show up, well, that's an easy way for that dude to suddenly position himself as Drakel's too.
Yep. Especially since there's that Osborn-looking dude in that flashback.
And if he happens to be hiding with the prince...
Oh, there's no fucking way those two are working together.
I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you.
I'm just gonna pull the plug on that one. No way.
All right. As we still do, that one day, you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country.
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends to try and end this war in a slightly different way from Drakel's.
Oh? Do tell.
Orgy. Nationwide.
Sorry.
He would.
I should be going. Thanks for all the interesting stories. They helped me work through things in my head a bit.
Ha ha! I'm pleased to hear it.
Where did that come
from?
from?
Waiting at the edge of my seat
That's amazing.
to hear which path you choose. Join us, and you'll be warmly welcomed. Naturally, I'm fascinated by you as the Ashen Knight's pilot, but I'm even more fascinated with that brute strength of yours. I would love the chance to see the power of an ogre up close.
Yeah.
I doubt it's half as interesting as what you're thinking. Anyway, if you'll excuse me.
It's probably like a Klingon thing.
Oh, he didn't mention the mask.
Why did the mask just show up?
I guess we should go just follow up on everybody. No. Never mind.
Nope. Rean, you're just such a narc.
Yeah, I'm always glad to talk to McBurn.
Yeah.
I should remember it about 20 hours from now.
I'm sure it'll only be 12.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do... First, check these doors, of course. Alright, so I'm gonna see what's going on over here.
I was gonna say, did we move back here?
Are you sure you don't want some help? You're so cool. You praised us.
I'm just opening every door on the ship.
Yep. Just barging in everywhere. All right, so what I'm thinking is... whoa. Surprise made.
Yo.
Yeah, it's Elise.
Yep. No, I think the princess.
Anyway. What I'm thinking is... we're going to go ahead and hop through that door. See what's going on. And if it takes like more than an hour, this is going to be the end of the video. So I guess we'll see. I have no idea how long this intermission is supposed to be. So, see you next time, maybe. Or see you right now.
Yeah, you know more about this than we do. You have the runtime.